Hey guys, so I'm back with another video, doing a little intro. Today we have a bowling rankings video made by my buddy Dell. If y'all don't know who Dell is, it's this guy right here, top bowler on the list, number one that I had on the list I made. He's made this probably like an hour ago, and I saw it, and I don't know, I had to feel like it was right for me to make a reaction video to it and go over my thoughts to it and point out some things that I maybe liked or disliked, and maybe some biases that I saw. You know what I mean? So we can honestly go ahead and start at the top. Number one. Now look, I might say some crazy things in this video, but there is no hate to no one on this list, no hate to Dell, no hate to anybody. Like this, his list. He's entitled to his opinion. I'm also entitled to mine to critique his list. Like when I make lists and rank people, they have full entitlement to criticize my list and do whatever. But okay. So he has Caleb number one, Fairs. He has the highest peak. He says probably the most consistent out the group with highest peaks, but needs to get the 90s out of his system. Fairs, Caleb does have 90s and stuff. Probably the most consistent. I kind of disagree. I feel like I compete with Caleb on consistency. He says I have consistency in my game, but I think that well, let's just go through the ranking. He has Caleb, Thailand, me, KJ. I think that I could easily be higher on this list. You know what I'm saying? Like I could be one or two, and if I'm saying this, I think it's true because let's see. He says Caleb's the most consistent out of the group with highest peaks. Probably the most consistent, which means he really thinks he's the most consistent. He put that probably to soften the blow or whatever. But and before I say this, let me just preface this. I think Dell has a bias towards Caleb. You could ask KJ, you could ask anybody. He's always taken a specific interest in Caleb and making sure he's improved and giving the most attention. Because like we would be at Lambright and we'd be bowling, and like me and KJ would practically be begging for Dell to give us advice, and he would not. But then Caleb would bowl and he'd be eager to like tell him what to do and like make him better, and Caleb wouldn't even listen to him. But Fairs. So he says probably the most consistent out of the group, but with the highest, probably the most consistent. So he thinks the most consistent. Me and Caleb sent Dell our pictures of our scores. Me and him, everybody did, and these were my scores. So these scores are from June 10th to June 25th. Me and Caleb both sent them our scores. Caleb sent some prior, but I wanted to keep this fair, so I used my scores from the 10th to the 25th, 59 games, and we used Caleb's from the 10th to the 26th, still 59 games. My average, Dell had this information by the way. My average was 118.25 to these 59 games that Dell had. I sent him this. Caleb's average was 112.71. So if he's probably the most consistent with the information that Dell had at his disposal, we both sent him from the 10th to the 26th. So the new scores, it don't really matter because Dell doesn't have that information. This is information he had at his disposal at the time. He has him probably the most consistent. But how's he more consistent when my average is 6 points higher? Like 6 points higher on an average is really not close at all. So how is he still probably the most consistent when my average is 6 scores higher? Now Caleb's average has shot up because he had a 170 the other day, but with the information Dell had at his disposal, mine is higher. Also, Dell saw my 170 and he was like, "Oh, congrats! I didn't know you hit the 170 club, gang. I have a 179, and I hit it like 3 weeks ago." See, he doesn't pay attention to no one but Caleb. When he saw this score, and he was like, "King, your highest 170, and congrats on the club." I'm like, "You didn't know I had a 179?" But he'll know when Caleb gets a freaking 110. I got to point out the bias right there. That's what I'm saying. So that's one gripe I had. Probably most consistent. I feel like if you're basing off the scores you had, Dell, I'm more consistent. If based off that. But if you want to base it off something else, more information, which I don't know, then we could talk. Because right now, Caleb's average is higher than mine. I think his last 10 game average is like 130. Mine is like 129. Fairs. But he also got that 170, so his shot up. But when that's out of his average, it'll probably come down. I feel like my average has consistently probably been higher in the notes that we have. But yeah, if he has Caleb, now look, I'm not saying Caleb's not better than me. I just think that I would like better wording. Because I think me and Caleb go back and forth. Like yesterday we bowled. I averaged 130 over 6 games. I averaged 130. He averaged 126. So I had a better day. I was more consistent. But some days he'll be more consistent. I just feel like it's blatant disrespect to have me 2 spots below him and then say that he's the most consistent. When we go back and forth on consistency, you can say he's more consistent, fairs, but off the information you had, it looks like I'm more consistent. So that just shows you probably weren't thorough. I don't know. When I make my list, I'm thorough. But yeah, and then highest peaks. He has the highest peak. I think his peak is a 186. His high is 186, 181, 179, 180. We're all right there. A couple pins go anybody's way. They're the highest. But fairs. And also, I switched from, throwing a plastic ball on spares to a reactive ball. So I still got to get used to that. And so my scores are going to be lower. But once I get a plastic ball, obviously I'm going to shoot up. Caleb's using the plastic ball in spares. Next question. All right, highest peaks, he has it. Caleb's number 1, fairs. Now, Thailand. Switchable with Caleb, which means he thinks Thailand is also way higher than me, which I don't agree with, if I'm being honest. If he can get back into his house ball form, he's not going to get back into his house ball form. With the consistent games of 120 and up, Thailand's average is 117 right now. I don't think he's in the 120s of consistency. Now, look, I'm not saying Thailand's bad. He's probably, like, you could have me, him, Caleb, even, whatever. But I think right now, I've got to be higher. Like, he was over here, Thailand was seriously considering switching to 2 hands. He doesn't know which form he wants to do. How is a guy who doesn't know what form he wants to do higher than me? And I'm not even trying to go at Dell here. It's just, I've actually bowled with these guys for the last month, so I've seen their games. Dell is watching their clips and highlights, and Dell knows what bowling me. I'm not sitting here and trying to say I know more than Dell. Dell's helped me. He doesn't want to help me, but he's helped me. I'm just saying that I would have liked more research, because now it feels blatant disrespect to me. You know what I'm saying? Where a guy who's switching form and doesn't really know what he wants to do yet is higher than me. You know what I mean? That's fairs. And then they get bigger paragraphs than I do. I get past some consistency in his game, slowly climb up an average, like no confidence, no work ethic. I've been bowling like crazy. I think Thailand probably goes like twice a week. I've been going like 3-4. Caleb's been like 5-6. Fairs. But I see where the disrespect really started. This is where me and Dell's relationship really took a turn. This is where it really snapped in my head like, oh, Dell, he don't really mess with me. This is what happened. So we were playing Flip 7. And me and Dell, we're like buddies in Flip 7. We like to play aggressive. And I had a chance to like win or like do good. And out of nowhere, he blindsides me. He makes me pause. He makes me bust and I lose. Fairs. I'm like, why Dell do that? That's not him like him. Like, what? Then I remembered the basketball list. I had Dell under Dre. And the thing is, after I made this list, I realized I was wrong. I apologized to Dell, and I was like, whoa. I told everybody, you guys think about it, I was like, Dell should have been above Dre. Now, look, I had Dre above Dell because the last time we played, Dre had the good defense, the motor, and he was playing good. But the next time we played, Dell showed me, like, and I really thought about it. Even before we played, I was like, Dell should be higher. Because if I had to pick, I'd probably pick Dell over Dre. You know what I'm saying? And I told Dell, I was like, Dell, my fault, bro. I was really just trying to motivate you because Dell's heart went in it. I wanted him to motivate. I thought seeing Dre below him or above him would motivate him. But it didn't. It just soured our relationship, our friendship. And then it showed with the Flip 7. But I didn't put it together till now. And then, also, wait, dang, I had something else. And then this bowling list solidified that like I'm getting overlooked by someone I looked up to. You know what I'm saying? Fairs. Like, he said Thailand was the biggest competition 2-3 weeks ago. Like, fairs, okay, you got your opinion, but like, I think you can't overlook me and Caleb, especially me, like, but that's cool. But yeah, I just hate that me and Dell's relationship has soured. Like, and you see like how he doesn't really give me anything to really improve on or like things I do well. He says some consistency. That's like a mini compliment. Slowly climbed up in average and scores, whatever, fairs. But like, you see when I do the bowling thing, I say he's a instrument. I give him at least 5 bullet points. 5 bullet points. And I gave him weaknesses, stuff that he can improve on. He didn't tell me like anything I can improve on. He didn't say, he like, you know what I mean? Like, he says, needs to get the 9s out of his system. He loves Caleb. Needs to get the consistent games. Needs to get back to his house ball form. Why does the guy 4th on the list, the guy 115 average, I have 14 average, no shout out, no disrespect to KJ. KJ's my boy. We respect KJ. But why does he get 4 lines of paragraphs? Love his form. Most polished form. Second highest peak. 3 compliments and I got none. When I have till yesterday, the second highest average. 14 higher than KJ. No disrespect. Like it just like I mean like if you hate me, just like if we're not cool, just say that, like, and then I'll start moving different because I don't mess with that fake energy. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I think that I could be higher. I should be higher than Thailand at this point. I'm not gonna lie. No disrespect to Thailand. Thailand's a good bowler. He's hit 181, but in the forms that we're at right now, I feel like my trajectory is higher than his because I've been bowling more. Thailand has a full-time job, girlfriend, all that. He has responsibilities. I don't. I really take this bowling stuff serious. And it could be because, like, I don't really search for Dell's validation like they do. Not no disrespect, like Caleb always send Dell videos to get him to critique his form or be like, Dell, what ball should I get, or Dell, should I do this, whatever. I'm not finna kiss another man's feet, no matter how good he is. Or Thailand will be like, Dell, what should I do this? Dell, what ball should I get? Dell, tell me what to do. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not like, and that's probably why he has them higher than me. Why KJ has more information. Because I'm not finna say D-Ride, but they give him more attention and boost his ego. I'm not finna do that. You know what I'm saying? But fairs. And then we go below the list. I mean, I don't really care that much. I mean, I think Drake could have got more compliments. Like, very inconsistent. Needs to polish up his game. I feel like we all need to polish up our game. Approach is iffy. Everyone's approach is iffy except Caleb and KJ, in my opinion. But, yeah, I think he could have said Drake has more power or whatever. But, yeah. And then also, we go to this, like, the Friends BR rankings, I gave Dell a lot of praises. I get no praises. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not even trying to, like, sound like I'm in my feelings or I'm upset or anything. It's just I'm calling out the bias. Because in my list, I feel like I don't be having bias. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know why no one, and people come at me, so, like, I'm going to come at Dell when he makes a list. You know what I'm saying? It's fair. When you put someone on the internet like this, you going to get come at. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, to summarize, I think it's kind of inconsistent. Probably the most consistent on the list when the scores you had, my scores were 6 average higher than his. Kind of crazy. Caleb has the highest peaks, not going to argue that. I think I should be higher than Thailand at least. I honestly could be higher than Caleb in some people's eyes. Caleb could be higher than me. I outbowl him sometimes. He outbowls me sometimes. I feel like if we, I'm gonna make a real, like, ranking real quick. Trajectory wise, okay, what does Caleb do well? What do I do well? Okay, Caleb has a better strike percentage. He is getting better with spares because he's using, like, a plastic ball. We both go around the same amount. That's good. I think with his style of bowling, his peak is lower because I feel like the way he throws, it's harder to be consistent with it. I feel like with me, I'm still really learning and still have to really build up the muscle memory because I'm using the 3-finger pro throw style, so it's going to take a time to really build that up. But I think the way I throw and do in my process, once I get there, will be easier to repeat than his, because I feel like his is more brute force, and I feel like it's harder to repeat the same brute force. Because even yesterday, he was talking about how his back hurt because he's using a lot of force. Me, my arm and my body isn't really hurting. It's more so my fingers are getting a little sore because that's just bowling. Me, things I need to work on. I need a higher strike percentage. That's really it. Because when I was using the plastic ball, I was picking up spares more. But I was like, okay, I need to get better with my strike ball and use it for spare shooting. And then once I get my spare ball, my average will shoot up. Once you get a spare ball, your average will shoot up. Fairs. My form, I don't think my form is bad. Or if not form, but like my approach, I don't think it's bad. It's more so, it looks awkward. But I just think that's because I have long arms and like I just have an awkward looking body. No offense. I think that's what it is. Caleb has a normal looking body, good proportions. Pause. He just has a long torso. Fairs. But like his arms and legs look fine. My legs are long. My arms are long, and I'm skinny arms, thick legs. It's gonna look awkward. Fairs. Thailand, stiff, gets looser. Fairs. But the main thing with Thailand is I don't think he bowls as much as we do. So I just don't see like how he's gonna improve as quick as me and Caleb. And then I don't really need to talk about KJ, Dre, or Susie. They're below me. I don't care. But that's a video. A bit of a rant sesh. Yeah. I would like to see Dell's response to this video. Hopefully he reacts to it. Maybe he tells me about what he thinks. But I mean, no shade to everybody. Everybody on the list is my friend. I'm probably gonna get some pushback from Caleb. You know how he is. And then Thailand, I don't think he'll care. And then Dell, he'll be like, ah, da, da, da. But I'll see y'all next time. Peace.